Have you ever really stopped to think about what's under your feet? I mean, it's so easy to just call it dirt and, move on with your day. But what if I told you that in just one handful of that dirt, there are more living things than there are people on the entire planet? Yeah, we're about to dig into the secret world of soil, and trust me, you'll never look at the ground the same way again.
So, this question right here is at the heart of everything. And it's not just about words. The answer is literally what separates a dead desert from a thriving rainforest, or a barren patch of ground from a farm that can feed a community. It's the secret ingredient to life itself.
So, how does that transformation happen? How does lifeless dirt become this living, breathing ecosystem? Well, it all hinges on one single, incredibly powerful concept. One word that unlocks the entire secret. And that word is fertility. But fertility isn't just some passive quality, it's an active power. It's the soil's ability to actually nurture and sustain life. So the really big question becomes, where does this power come from? How does soil get fertile in the first place?
It's not magic, but it is a kind of alchemy. Think of it like a recipe, the perfect recipe for creating life. And like any good recipe, it has a few key ingredients that have to be mixed together in just the right way. So let's break down the two main categories.
This slide right here is basically our roadmap. It lays out the two fundamental building blocks of fertile soil. On one side, you have the organic stuff, everything that was once alive. We call this humus. And on the other side, you have the inorganic elements, the minerals and rocks. This is the foundation for, well, everything.
Okay, so to put it really simply, humus is the dark, rich, kind of squishy stuff that comes from dead plants and animals. It's the lifeblood of the soil. The inorganic stuff, that's the grit, the sand, silt, and clay that comes from broken down rocks. One is the living engine, the other is the chassis. You need both.
We're going to start with the organic side, because honestly, this is where the magic really happens. If this whole thing was a movie, humus would be the hero. It's the living, breathing heart of the soil, the main character in our story. So what's our hero's origin story? It's born from the endless cycle of life and death. Every single fallen leaf, every dead beetle, every bit of animal waste, it all gets broken down by an invisible army of microbes and transformed into this incredible life-giving substance. It is nature's ultimate recycling program.
Okay, now let's talk about the other side of the equation. If humus is the lifeblood, the inorganic elements are kind of like the soil's multivitamin. They provide the very specific nutrients that plants need to do all their different jobs. It's like a chemical toolkit for growth.
And this chart shows you just how specific those jobs are. Potassium, that's like the plant's personal trainer, making its stems super strong. Phosphorus is the secret sauce for delicious, ripe fruit. And nitrates are basically a growth spurt in a bottle. Each one is a specialist with a crucial job to do.
But the chemical buffet doesn't stop there. Iron and calcium, they're why we have leafy greens like spinach. Sulfur is a great all-arounder, helping with total development. And magnesium is like the steady hand that keeps everything growing strong. It's this finely tuned chemical symphony, and every single part is essential.
So, we've met the supporting cast of chemical elements, but now let's get back to our star player, humus. Because humus isn't just a provider of nutrients. Oh no, it's a superhero with a whole range of incredible powers that make the entire ecosystem work. This is what makes it the real MVP of the soil. Let's run through these superpowers. First, it's a five-star restaurant for the trillions of microbes that are the real workhorses down there. Second, it's a delivery service, bringing nutrients directly to the plant's roots. Third, and this is a game changer, it's a super sponge, holding onto water and releasing it when plants need it. Fourth, it's a security guard, stopping all those precious nutrients from just being washed away. And finally, it's a master architect, binding the soil together to create the perfect structure for life to thrive. Let's zoom in on that water-holding power for a second, because this is absolutely critical. We're not just talking about keeping the soil a little moist here. This is about creating a reservoir of water that can sustain a plant through its entire life, from a tiny seed all the way to harvest. In a drought, that's a lifeline.
So, let's circle back to where we started. What's the difference between dirt and soil? The answer, in one word, is life. Soil isn't just a place where plants grow. It's a living, breathing city, a bustling metropolis of organisms all working together in this beautiful, complex dance between the living and the non-living.
And here it is, the complete recipe for a thriving soil ecosystem. You've got humus, our hero, providing that foundation. You have the inorganic elements, those are the vitamins for growth. You have the microbes, the tireless workforce. And you've got water, the essential lifeblood. Each part is totally interconnected, and if you take any one of them away, the whole system just collapses.
So, the next time you walk through a park or you're tending to your garden or even just looking at a potted plant on your windowsill, I hope you see it in a totally new light. You'll know that beneath the surface, there's a whole universe at work. And that leaves us with one final, very personal question. Now that you know the secret recipe for life, are you giving your plants the ingredients they really need to thrive?